Alright guys, what is up? This is Vivian from We Vibe Higher. I literally tried to make sure this kind of like fit the video, so hopefully it does. Today's segment is how to tell if you are settling in your relationship. I want to talk about other stuff too, but I need to do some research and I have too many things I'm trying to do at once. Gemini problems. But when that's all said and done, I plan on doing that because I feel like we have to go to the surface and then get to the root, even though I really like going to root stuff immediately. But anyway, we're going to talk about how to tell if you're settling in your relationship. So if you are happy in your relationship, that's awesome. I'm just here to kind of pull out facts if you are settling. Well, I mean, I guess they're not facts, but they kind of are. I don't know, YouTube can be kind of like, is that really a fact or is that just your opinion? And like, I think it's a little bit of both, so like if you're gonna come after me, like totally understandable. But how to tell if you're settling. This is from personal experience, so take what you will. I do not recommend settling, as you can see before. So I'm just kind of here to see if I can help you and kind of point out some things that maybe you're kind of ignoring red flag wise, and how to get you in a little better position. So with that being said, number one, you do not know you're settling, I guess. I'm sorry, wording is terrible. I'm not that great at English or any language for that matter. But one of the best ways you can tell if you're settling is if you are more upset than you are happy in the relationship. Relationships, I know people say that like relationships are going to be hard and you're going to have your hard times, which is totally true, you are, and it's not always going to be happy. I hate when people say that, when they're like, everything's not going to be great, Vivian, and it's like, I get that, but like in a whole sense, like it's going to be really awesome. It's going to be another connection you have with another person, and it should just be fun and vibrant and like really good energy. And you're settling if you are not happy. If you are not happy in your relationship, you're settling. And don't get me wrong, you might have a connection with that person that is like bonding and like they went through some hard stuff with you and they really, really like were there for you when no one else was. Like stuff like that can happen, but if at the end of the day you're depressed and you're sitting there like, why am I with you? Like, I'm not even happy with you, but you're comfortable and you're just kind of thinking that no one else is going to want you, then you're for sure settling, and you really should kind of remember that you should, love you and that person enough to both let each other talk about it and see if something can be worked out. Or worst case scenario, you break up. But I guess it'd be kind of a best case scenario, so you guys can both find people that you wouldn't have to settle for. Another thing is, I was going to say 1, 2, and 3, but I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to forget. I forget everything within 5 seconds. And in my first video, it was like really quiet, but like I don't really care. So yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna talk. Anyway, another way that you can tell if you're settling is if your energy kind of gets angry with them. Like if you're more so angry, which I guess kind of coincides with you're not happy, but if you're letting out a lot of your baggage with that person, you're settling. Like if you're more so just like relieving all negative energy into them and into that relationship, you shouldn't need that. This relationship should empower you and make you happier. And like there's gonna be times, like I said, where that's not happening. But if that's happening on more often than not, you should really consider what you can do to make the relationship better or make a relationship with yourself better, because a lot of the time, if you're settling in a relationship, there's work to be done on both parties, and sometimes you need to be separate. Another thing is, if you guys don't have something that you guys are both passionate about, hear me out on this. I get that I'm 21, but I've dated a few people in my life, to say the least, and one thing I really learned, personal experience, and if you know something different, please leave me a comment down below. I couldn't be wrong. I'm so okay with knowing if I'm wrong too. If you guys both aren't passionate about something, you guys are kind of settling on just like hanging out, like watching movies, and that's nothing is wrong with that. Like don't get me wrong, like if you guys just like hang out doing nothing, doing totally separate things, that's fine. But if you want a relationship where you're wanting to get fulfilled and you guys both are super passionate about art or super passionate about music or about sports or working out or health or gardening or like academics, if you guys aren't both bleeding passion into that, and you're not bleeding into with each other, so you guys don't have a passion that you're fulfilling with each other, you're not really growing, and you're not really taking each other anywhere. That's not to say that you might date someone who's really, really into sports and you're really, really into art. You guys might have a passion of really feeding that into each other, like really supporting each other, and that's a great thing to feed, is that you guys both are passionate about supporting each other. If that person doesn't want to support you and you don't want to support them, and they don't really like help you amp that up, and you're spending more time hanging out with them and not feeding your dream, you're settling on yourself. And vice versa, if you're doing that to them, they're settling with you. You guys should really be pumping each other up and really, really feeding that fire, whether it's just support or it's, you know, spending time learning about what they're talking about. And that's not saying you should like change into who they want you to be. Sorry, I'm sitting my foot on the toilet because I'm literally filming, I almost fell, in my bathroom because I don't have lighting anywhere else. I live in my basement in my parents' house, and like, as you can see, it's dark AF and all the lights are in there for the most part, so whatever. Another thing, if you guys are talking down towards each other or being mentally abusive, and that also goes with manipulation. I don't think this world really talks about mental abuse enough, and being manipulated and emotional abuse enough. They really like hold on to the physical. Okay, hi, my camera said I had no more storage, so I had to like delete a video that was like 20 minutes long story. Anyway, so when someone says like people just kind of amplify and like, oh, they hit you, like that's abuse, like that's when someone abuses you and they hit you. Like, no, if someone's manipulating you to like talk to them on the phone, like, oh, I'm gonna do something if you don't talk to me, or is it like any of that sense, or make you feel guilty that you like don't want to do certain things because you're not comfortable with them. And I know that's like sense with everything, but like even if it's like paying for a meal, like if you can't afford it and they're like, oh my god, you're the guy, you're supposed to pay for these things, and they're not understanding like your situation, and if you don't want to and they don't respect your boundaries, or if someone's like pressuring you to do something that you don't want to, you're settling, because the person that you're meant to be with wouldn't do that to you at all by any means. So that's another factor. Something else you should consider is if you always are trying to prove yourself to them, you shouldn't have to prove yourself to anyone. You should only prove, I guess, to yourself that you are strong and that you're gonna get through stuff. But if you constantly have to push and push yourself to fit whatever the person you're with's mold for you, then you don't need to be with them. Like, it's not really helping you, it's not really helping them, it's not really helping anyone if you keep pushing and molding yourself into whatever they want you to be. At the end of the day, you're not going to be happy, it's really not going to fulfill you, and you're not really going to get anything out of it except for trying to constantly help them. I know this next one is what everyone says, but when someone tries to change you, the person you're with is trying to change you, leave. If the person, or I mean, you can stay if you want, but you're settling, and settling is just unhealthy. It's unhealthy for you and it's unhealthy for them. If you also have kind of a feeling of, oh, like, I don't really know, like, what would they do without me? Like, I need them, like, they need me, and you're just kind of dragging yourself for them, you're sacrificing yourself for them, you're settling. I know that it's really popular in culture to, like, really settle and to really just, like, let someone take all of your energy, or kind of shape and mold yourself to what some people want, like whoever you're with or whoever you want to try to impress to be. But it's, at the end of the day, you're not going to know who you are, and you're settling for yourself because you're not going to really be what you want to be, and they're going to be settling because you're not really who you want to be, and then you're going to end up changing, and it's just not worth it at all. If they also don't fit at least like 6, honestly, like, they should fit everything, but if you have like a list, they should fit at least 75% of what you want in a person. Another 25%, I was like saying 6 out of 10, but that didn't make sense, so that's why I'm sorry I'm like jumping around, but follow me here. Sorry. But if they should fit like 75% of the things that you want in a person at least, and the 25% should be negotiable. If everything else, if they're totally opposite of you and you guys really don't have a lot in common except for physical, then you really shouldn't be with them, because what I've really noticed is if you're kind of with some person for like one thing and it's something that you kind of like latch onto, you're not going to be really able to see who they are, and you're just going to be in this unhealthy cycle of like constantly like clashing heads, and you don't need that. Also, another person who is just not really good with like who you're friends with, if they have a really big problem with like your friendship group for more of like a judging reason, if you feel like they're judging you and they're not really like understanding, then you shouldn't be with them. You shouldn't be with someone who is constantly like judging you. But who am I to say anything? I guess I'm sorry I keep saying like you shouldn't be with them, but I'm just really big believer on like you shouldn't be with someone that you're settling for, and you shouldn't have to deal with anything that isn't what you deserve. You deserve the best. Like you have to remember that you are the best you can be, and you deserve that. And if you feel like you're not the best you can be, and that you're okay because they're not the best they can be, you shouldn't sell yourself that short. And honestly, if you have a really big problem with selling yourself short, and you have a really big problem with like kind of seeing your own worth, that's valid and that's fine. But it's really gonna affect you in finding who you really should be with, and you should really kind of look internally. I recommend it for everyone. I think seeing someone, if you've been in a lot of abusive relationships, or you don't really know what kind of relationship you've been in, but you felt like it was abusive from your intuition, then I think you should really talk to someone about it, because that's what you deserve. Your spirit deserves nurturing, as well as like the person you're with. I think that if you guys don't make something positive, you shouldn't be with them. I feel like if you have to lie for them or make excuses for them, you shouldn't be with them. I feel like you're settling with them. I'm sorry if I keep saying like you shouldn't be with them. I don't know how to edit videos yet, so like bear with me. I won't be able to edit these out, which is kind of cool though. I guess you get to see like me for me. And I think that if you are constantly making excuses, and you're constantly making excuses for the relationship, and you're not really seeing things in a clear set, and you kind of feel like you're constantly puzzled and you're trying to figure out what they're saying, or it's a constant head game, you're settling. And if that's how the beginning of the relationship is, you're settling. If like the beginning you don't know if you're really together, you don't know if you're really not, for like a long period of time, and they keep disrespecting you, disrespect isn't okay. The person you're with should be loyal to you unless you guys decide otherwise, and I think everything should be kind of a mutual respect. And if you're not getting respect, you're settling, and you shouldn't have to settle. You should never settle with who you're with. If you feel like it's not a good fit, like if your intuition is telling you like this, like if you kiss them and you know they're not good for you, or when you're like done being with them and you just know, you have to really remember the bigger picture, that this like comforting feeling that you have with them is great. You shouldn't bypass it. But if the yearning for you to look for something deeper is there, they probably feel the same way. Not saying they do, but they might. And you should really look into yourself and let go and trust that you're going to get what you deserve, because you do. You weren't made here to mess up, as sometimes as the world can make us feel that way. You weren't. You should just really trust yourself. And you feel like you keep hitting heads and you're not growing, you're settling. And that's the last thing you should do, is bring another person when you feel like you're settling, and you're settling with each other, and it's just this no growth. It's just like getting deeper and deeper, of not really like strengthening your roots, just weakening them. And you guys should just, have that conversation. That's kind of my segment on how you can tell if you're settling with someone. I feel like if I think of more, I'll make like another like part 2. This was literally just random. I was just kind of tired of like sitting in my room watching YouTube videos, not making YouTube video. So that's that. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Like I said, if you are happy in your relationship and you're okay with settling, I'm not saying settling is a bad thing. I'm just saying this is a video for people who do not want to settle and want to know if they are settling and how to get out of that rut. There's plenty of help out there if you are in an abusive relationship that is free, men or women. I know it's easier for women, but if you're a guy, I'm sure that there is plenty of other places that you can have that conversation with. I know that men don't get nearly as much support, and it's really hard, and it's really hard for women too. But I just want to give you kind of a heads up of how you know that you're settling. Those were my top ways that I knew that I was. Like I said, I hope you have a great day. Stay groovy, and I will talk to you later. Bye.